Hello, everyone. My name is Oscar Butler, and this is the Oscar Butler Show. And tonight I'm excited because I've got as a special guest, Kathy White, who is the creator and director of the upcoming Santa Fe Blues Festival. So we're going to be talking to her, and I want to get right into it. So I'm going to bring Kathy on out, and we'll start our whole little interview here. So, Kathy, how are you?
Hey, good evening, Oscar. How are you? I'm
I'm
well.
wonderful. I'm wonderful. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Let's have some fun with it.
Absolutely. And just remember too out there, this is interactive. So if you are on either YouTube or two places on Facebook, or actually multiple places on Facebook, if you've got a chat little box, you can actually talk to Kathy and me, and by just typing in your thing, and we can respond to it. So anyway, I'm going to start Kathy off with one quick question, which is, Kathy, what inspired you to launch the first ever Santa Fe Blues Festival, and what motivated you to choose blues music as the focal point?
Hey, Oscar, when you ask me that question, I immediately think, I bet there's probably been some other blues festivals that I'm not aware of.
I
I can't say what they are. I haven't done my research in that area. But what I can tell you is this blues festival, we're calling this one the Reds and Greens True Blues Fest. Reds and Greens, if you know anything about New Mexico and have been here for a while, it's all about the chili pepper. It's a big crop in this state and it goes all over the world. So you're at a restaurant, and you're ordering some chili rellenos. And your waitress or waiter will say, hey, a red, green, or Christmas.
yep.
And it's like, okay, okay, this is cool. And so it just hit me, the blues, and I'm thinking primary colors, red and green and blues. We're
Uh-huh.
gonna have a Reds and Greens True Blues Fest. So yeah, your question, you're asking me what got me going on this. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. What
Oh,
motivated you?
so my husband and I, we retired to New Mexico about 10 years ago. And we had been volunteering in a blues festival in Texas. And when I'd come out here to New Mexico, we were going out and listening to some live music, and there's plenty of live music in the state, the whole state. And I just thought, wow, wonder what it would be like for us to bring a blues festival, some of the blues music that we're used to hearing and that we enjoy. And I've been going out I've been to the International Blues Challenge out in Memphis, Tennessee. They do that in January, and you get to hear music from all over the world in the genre of blues. It's incredible, from French blues to North African blues. I heard all kinds of blues music this year. Australian blues, just amazing. And so I thought, well, I'd like to hear what some New Mexico has to offer because I know there's a whole lot of talent here. And that's what I'm finding. That's what I'm finding. And at the same time, I thought, wow, with our lineup, we've got mostly New Mexico blues. We have some transplants in from Mississippi, and so we're going to have some Delta blues. And then we're going to have some people that I've known from my previous blues festival experience from Memphis, Tennessee. And I thought, I want to see the collaboration happen because I know when bands and people get together and collaborate, magic happens. The musical magic just somehow you can't plan it. I just know something's going to happen and come together. And I thought, well, I just kept looking around Santa Fe and thought, do they have anybody headlining or bringing in a blues festival? I saw that Madrid did. I saw that Silver City did. And coming up here in Albuquerque, they're going to have an 11th annual Blues Fest. So anyway, I just thought that's the contribution I'd like to bring to New Mexico, and I chose Santa Fe, the capital, to do it.
I think that's cool. I think that's awesome. That is cool, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm happy that you asked me to be a part of it. Um, Either
Awesome.
way, because I and I've been here for almost 30 years, and
Wow.
I look for festivals and stuff, and I guess I'm a little grumbly about a lot of times I don't hear about things until almost they're either happening now or they've passed. And but I'm glad, like with this, I really want to get the word out. So to make this very successful, I want to just try to, get this working for you and
Oh,
us
I love
for
it. Yeah.
next. So
We're
anyway,
definitely glad to have your participation and bringing your talent. Oscar Butler music. It's incredible what you put out. And I remember the first time seeing you, I was in Madrid. You were playing at the Holler, one of the little restaurants there, across from the mine shaft. And I'm just sitting there, and this has been bubbling, this blues festival. Like I said, we've been here for 10 years, and about 8 years ago is when I really started thinking, what could I bring to the community here? What could I contribute as you know, a New Mexican now?
uh-huh.
And this is what struck me is that this could be a whole lot of fun, and let's do it. And
Yeah.
it takes a while, you get an idea, and it's kind of a grand idea. It's a vision. And it's like, wow, I wonder what else it's going to take to make this happen. And we had some dates prior to 2021 or 2020 when we had the pandemic show up, and
Uh-huh.
so we just had to throw it to the side. But I knew, the festival has its own energy, and it speaks to me, and I listen to Reds and Greens. I'm like, okay, it's an entity amongst itself. It's something that wants to be created and brought to fruition here. And I don't necessarily see myself as the one and only making this happen. I know better.
Uh-huh.
This is a we thing for sure. Definitely you're included. And I keep running into so many people that would rather be collaborative rather than competitive. And I just invite all those folks to the table. That's so fun.
Gosh. Yeah. Well, on that line now, organizing a festival from scratch is definitely no small feat. Can you share some of the stuff that you've gone through? That some of the journey of you turning this vision into reality for the first
Yeah,
time here now. Well, maybe not the first time, but for your first time here in
yeah.
Santa Fe.
It definitely is a first time thing for me for sure. Like I said, I volunteered before at organizing volunteers for a festival. That's a little bit different. But
Uh,
I the experience so far, I will tell you, I've had some sleepless nights, like, uh-oh. And I gave myself a little bit of a timeline, like, hey, are we really going to do this? Is this going to actualize? Am I really going to jump in? Because you have to jump in with a full body. It's a full body experience. It's like, who wants to do anything half measures, right? So
right.
eventually I gave myself a timeline, like, we're doing it. We're not going to keep talking about it. This is it. This is the year for it. And it is. And the city of Santa Fe was so gracious. They gave me the date that they thought would work best on their end to host it over at Fort Marcy Ballpark. That happens to be where the huge international seeing of Zozobra, the Burning Man guy, happens every year. And
Okay.
I was thrilled that people already are aware of the ballpark. And where else to have a blues festival but in a ballpark? I like that. Green grass, you can flip off your shoes and walk in the grass and dance and feel the earth beneath your feet, and listen to the grooves and vibes of blues.
And it'll be cooler then too.
Thank you. I think that's a plus. you know, some people are like, well, that's getting kind of close to snow time. And I said, well, we can probably push that off till November.
Yeah.
Ski Mountain doesn't open in Santa Fe till Thanksgiving, and sometimes they're making a lot of snow to make that happen. So I think we've got a beautiful date. I envision a great Saturday afternoon in a ballpark in Santa Fe Plaza. So here we go. Now I met these our headliner, Ghost Town Blues Band. Matt Isbell's the lead there, and I met him at the festival in Texas. So 8, 9 years ago, and I just stayed in touch with him, and because he's a collaborator. And I typically I'm looking for people. I always say good-hearted people, and I find a lot of them in blues music. And what I mean by good-hearted people is people that put their walls down, and they're actually authentic. They're able to show up and just be who they be authentic, and share with me who they are. And so I'm a real connector. I love to connect people with other people. I like to find out people's background stories. And it's not because I'm the nosy neighbor or anything of that nature. I just actually care.
Mhm.
And I
Well,
have a musicians.
I remember the first time I met you. I think wasn't it at my well, not the first time, but the next time I met you was at my not house concert. It was the
Unity?
coffee house at Unity. Yeah,
Yep, yep,
and I
yep.
think that's the second time, and I think I really got to talk to you then, and I mean, it was just great meeting you, and just feeling your genuineness
Thank you.
for what I do, and and just I really felt very open to talk to you, so that definitely it was a plus meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I remember that night as well. I remember you popped it up on right here on social media, Oscar Butler playing a night. I thought, hey, I'm driving into Albuquerque because I live out in the East Mountains. I live 7,500 feet near Pine Forest, and I love it here. So yeah, I thought, yep, I'm going in to see this guy. And sure enough, I got to see you. And not only did I get to see you, I got to get to know you. And here we are today.
Yep.
So this is actualization. You talk about you have a vision. I had a vision, been talking about it. A lot of people, different places, know a few people from different places. And here hey, there's my son chiming in. Oh, hey, I'm a mom too. You know how it is.
Uh-huh.
He's on another platform though.
uh,
Anyway, okay, back here. So yeah, so it takes a vision and then a connector and then an actualizer is what I've noticed in business
uh-huh.
ventures. And I won't even really call this a business venture. Sometimes business gets a bad rap with, it's all about making money and the bottom line. I tell you what's important to me is that musicians get paid what they're worth. And I've seen a lot of discrepancy, and I know I'm not the only one. This has been an ongoing event with the discrepancy in the value of the artist. And I have artist friends that aren't just musicians, they're dancers in Canada, and and I just see what that is, and that old stigma about that archetype about the starving artist. I'm here to help erase that,
Uh-huh.
you know. And
Thank
so,
you.
hey, you're welcome. Because I don't know about you, but if we didn't have the arts and music, I don't know that I'd be here. You know,
Yeah.
music soothes that savage beast that can come out in all of us at any given time. And
Yeah.
man,
I
rich.
don't know many people who through their lives can't relate, making it through different hard times because of music.
Oh yeah,
Any kind. But yeah. Music is
right.
incredible. The arts period is incredible.
Yeah, yeah. That expression, it's that feel good stuff, and it's that feel bad stuff too. It's acknowledging that it's not all, roses and cherries and cute puppies and kittens.
Uh-huh.
And that I think it's important to acknowledge that, and that's what I like the blues about it. It brings it's gut level honesty. It's back to that authenticity and genuineness. And I don't at all begin to claim I know blues history or any of that. I wouldn't
Hmm.
dare go there because that's not true at all. I just want to lift up blues musicians. That's what I want
Yeah.
to do. Just something in my heart to do. So here it is. I know people asked me somebody asked me today, how did you get started on this? And he said, oh, and they kept wanting, oh, well, it was Matt Isbell. He's like, he's trying to figure out why I get why it's so important to me. And I'm just at a stage in my life where I can choose to do something like this, and I'm really
Hmm.
grateful for it. So, and he said, "Are you a school teacher or something? Because you're really interested in people." And I will give you a little anecdote on him. See, just watch me, Oscar. I'll take over the whole interview. You won't
That's
have to ask me.
okay. Good. Go for it.
But I like anecdotes on people because it's real life stories. And so here's Matt, and I said, And this morning on the phone, I said, okay, give me a little thing from your past. Like, what happened? What happened when you were young that sparked your imagination, that brought you to music or a musical instrument? And he talked about when he's about 9 or 10, he found a little 3/4 guitar, and it only had 3 pegs in it, tuning pegs. 3 were missing. So he had a 3-string guitar, right? And he was thrilled. And he played on that, and he played on that, and played on that. And then fast forward, he got a little bit older. He got a hold of a harmonica, and he said, he went and he grabbed a coat hanger, and he undid that coat hanger, and he fashioned it around his neck and head, and he made it to where it was he had a blues harp, a harmonica holder to play.
Huh.
And so here he is. That's his creativity coming out early on. And then he said, fast forward now, he has Memphis cigar box guitars. And he said, that's the origination, for my 3-string cigar box guitar.
Hmm.
He builds these things. Matter of fact, he's bringing one to the fest. It will have the festival logo on it. And it's going to be a raffle item for sponsors at a certain level. And
Uh-huh.
so different sponsors that come in at a certain level and above, they're going to get thrown into this raffle. One of them is going to take home one of Matt's cigar box guitars. And I love that. So not only is it music to the stage and getting people up off their feet, he's getting to express some other artistic creativity he has as well, and with that guitar.
That's pretty cool. It's funny because I was just looking at something. I think it was on YouTube about those cigar box guitars. And so that's exciting. That's
Some
that's
people really are into that, and some people never heard of it in their life, you know,
uh-huh.
but they're pretty cool. We're
But
probably going
yeah.
to have one on. We're going to have it here before the festival starts. So if you're in Santa Fe or Albuquerque area, we're going to have it in a business up in Santa Fe on display, and I believe that's going to be Borrego's guitars. I'll know that for sure soon, but that's what we're shooting for,
Uh-huh.
and people can come by and take a look at it and see what it is.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's just fun.
So now, I guess what's exciting to me, because a few years back there was a festival that ran up in Santa Fe, and I was just kind of annoyed a little bit because everybody was from out of state, and I
Ah,
mean the fact that you
yeah.
have local musicians really is exciting for me.
Thank
You know,
you. Yes.
not just
Oh,
because I'm in it, but the other people that you have in there. So,
right, right. Felix and Los Gatos, they're from the South Valley, Albuquerque. I just got to know him this year, and I'll tell you how it happened. Um, Actually, last year, one of my board members, she came to stay and take care of her father in Albuquerque. She's out of Tucson, Arizona, and she cared for her father until he passed away. But while she was going through that experience, she found out about Felix and Los Gatos, and so
mhm.
she was going there to get her relief and get some joy going for herself while she went through this process with her father. And she just said, Kathy, you've got to go see these people. You just have to go see them. I met this lady out in Memphis one time, one time when we went to the Blues Music Awards, and that's something that happens in May in Memphis. And we've been connected ever since. That's
Uh-huh.
easily 8 years ago. Or
Wow.
actually, no, what am I thinking? That's probably 12 years ago, 13. Anyway, I'm just saying blues people tend to make connections, or I tend to make better connections with blues people because they just drop those walls and barriers and tell you who they are, you
Hmm.
know? And so anyway, she's the one that said, go see him. And to the point that I call her one of our festival patrons on our website because she is willing to pay all of Felix and Los Gatos' performance fee and lodging. She goes, you got to get him. And sure enough, I didn't go out to find him, but it was one of those serendipitous moments. I hadn't gotten to where I was going to see him play yet, but I wound up going out one night, and it was to the Rock Canyon Tap Room, which is out here on Route 66.
Uh-huh.
Leroy Gonzalez has that place. It's a fun little joint. And I was sitting there listening to the band that was there. My friend JD Sipe, great bass player, a lot of folks know him here. He suggested I come out and hear them play, and I did. And then we're just sitting there, and there's not a whole lot of folks there. It's a winter night. All of a sudden, the door opens. It's almost like out of a movie, and this gato walks by with his, and he's got his guitar with him, and he just sits down at the bar and he's listening to the music. And I looked at him, I thought, I wonder if that's Felix Peralta of Felix and Los Gatos. And I just kept looking at him. And sure enough, that's who it was. I thought, wow, this is my night to meet Mr. Felix. So, hello.
Felix, man, he has his hand in everything. I mean, he
Well, he
is
sure does lately, and maybe for a long time, but I see
yeah.
him everywhere now. I believe the whole band, they just opened for Los Lobos over the weekend.
Did they?
I believe so. That's what I saw. Talk about a good-hearted person. And so he's been so kind to, just like you, just to give me some time of day and get to know me a little bit. Let me get to know you guys. And so, yeah, we're bringing him in. Also, we have Rudy Boy Jaramillo and the Rudy Boy Experiment. He's been around here for quite some time. I've seen him for quite some time. What an entertainer he is. That man's a performer and an entertainer. I've watched crowds of people get up off their feet. Just this summer over at the Albuquerque Amphitheater at the museum, I think it was a blues guitar night that Chris Dracup put on. So we got tickets and went to that. And he opens the show, and sitting right across from us at a table is a man wearing a really washed out T-shirt of the Rudy Boy Experiment. So he's had it a long time. He's a fan. He's a true fan. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey," I go, you know him?" He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's one of my favorites." And so I get a kick out of looking at the audience and their audience reaction to certain musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy said, "Well, I was on my way home tonight. My wife and I are going out to dinner later. But I thought I gotta stop and get me some blues." And so he beelined it over there to that show. And then he's going to meet up with his wife and go to some other show. But he was coming in, he goes, "I had to come in here and hear Rudy Boy." I hadn't forgotten that story. And I thought, yeah, let's get Rudy on. Luckily, Rudy can do it. He's double booked this day of the festival. But hey, he was willing. So come on, New Mexico blues musician. Let's play. Oh, I'd be remiss if where are we? You got time for one more?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep going. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. Because I'm lining this stuff up. I'm figuring where you're going, so I'm lining these things up for you.
Whoa! You kind of need to be paid a lot of money for figuring out where I'm going. That's a travel. Okay, we're gonna go here. Mississippi Sound. Okay, so let me tell you, you and JD Sipe, the bass player for Memphis P-Tails, both told me about Cameron Kimbrough. Kimbrough. Kathy, you got to go see him. You gave me a really neat story. Maybe you'd like to share that.
No, you tell it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is your interview, right? This is your show. So yeah, well, you were telling me about him calling you up about he wanted to move on out here, and he talked to you about what's the music scene, and this is what I heard from what you shared with me. And he is Delta Blues. He's a Delta blues musician. His grandfather, Junior Kimbrough, he was, I believe he's the father of Hill Country Blues in Mississippi. And so he comes from a long background of that music and that tradition. And I thought, my gosh, he's sitting right here in Albuquerque. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to have to get out there and see him. And he's already coming to me recommended by two people I really admire, you and JD. So I got over there and saw him at one of the breweries in Albuquerque, and he just had a harmonica player with him and him. And it's not the full band. It's not his Mississippi Sounds. It's not his bandmate, Yellow P, Damien. But I thought, oh boy. So I'm sitting here watching the crowd, wishing there were more tables and chairs for more people to sit to listen to him and then get up out of their seats, because there was room to dance too. I thought, wow, the music room needs to have more availability for people to hear this.
Where was that? Was that the Salt Yard? It wasn't it's not the Salt Yard, was it?
No. I think this was, I'm gonna say Steel Bender.
That's on 4th Street. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Steel Bender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's where I saw him for the first time. And I thought, my word, that's Delta Blues. That's what he's
Yeah,
playing. So
he was
let's
he was
bring that
awesome.
in. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying he was awesome when I first, because he had called me just when he was thinking about moving out here. But I mean, when I heard him, oh my gosh, he what the way he plays and what he plays is so good.
Yeah,
So
and it's uniquely him and
yep,
uniquely Delta Blues. And so we've got a lot of different musicians that play blues in their own way, and they're going to bring all that to this festival. I love it. I love it. It's diverse to me, and I like it.
oh man. So let me see if I got one more question for you here. I was going to ask you. Like okay, so future. What do you see this? Where do you see this going in the future?
Okay.
After we kick ass on this first one, where do you see it?
After I'm long dead and gone and buried in the mountains out here in New Mexico, I'd love to have a legacy blues festival true to Santa Fe, true to the capital city of the state, and people just come from all over the state to celebrate. That's what I'm looking for. That
That's
and that's a grand vision, mind you, but hey, I'm only 53. Come
uh-huh.
on. It can
You're a
happen.
kid. You're a kid.
Yeah.
Damn.
Feel like a kid every day, right, Oscar?
That's about it.
Yeah, really. Keep smiling. So
But
yeah. So honestly, I'd like for Santa Fe to have, something they can call their own. They may have had something in the past that I'm simply not aware of, and I hope somebody will make me aware of it
uh-huh.
if they hear this interview and run into me somewhere and see me. But
Can
other
you
than
see it?
that, yeah.
Can you see it possibly turning into maybe 2 or 3 days?
Yes,
Wouldn't that
sir.
be cool? Oh
Yes,
man.
sir. Because even today, I got a band inquiry. I got a submission for another band, and went and listened to them, and we're booked. We're doing the best we can. We're starting off small because that's
Yep.
the smart thing to do.
That's
But it
awesome.
doesn't feel small. This doesn't feel small to me at all. This is a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's a noon to 5, and all the background effort that goes into making this happen and getting people here and there, and complying with the city and just making everybody happy to where we can all have a really good time together. It's some work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really would. I've so much music here, so many people I would like to see play next year and the next year and the next year. And so I really hope that, we'll be able to keep it going and keep the sponsorship coming in, and, you know,
Yeah.
let's turn it into something more than just one day, one afternoon.
Yeah. That's I mean in my mind, and this is just things that I've you know dreamt about thinking of working with you and stuff, but I just can picture the getting sponsorship from hotels because it's turning into 3 day or 2 day event, and you're going to have people coming in from all over the state and other states, and it's like wow you
Right.
know
I mean, I've got people booking, they're out of Florida, flying in here, Illinois, flying in here, LA,
uh-huh.
Arizona. Those people are already coming. And, I'm now it's like, okay, let's get the groundswell of our community here in the state, and let's get them on board with us and
Yep.
sponsoring, buying tickets, and just bringing their family. I think it'll be fun. We'll have a couple food trucks, and it's a basic festival. It's nothing big and fancy in the sense
Right.
of, you know, we'll have a merch tent. All your merch will be there. Everybody's merch will be there for people that want to
Mhm.
purchase what all the good sounds they're going to hear that day. And we'll have a festival T-shirt. We've got a commemorative festival poster. So here's that artwork coming in along with that music art, and it comes from bass player JD Sipe that I mentioned earlier. He's created
Uh-huh.
a poster for us. It's, mm, to die for. I love it. Love it. So, it's our
That's
first
just
year. It's kind of fun to get in on the beginning of something new, yet old, but new. It's like, wow, it's a we thing. It's not just a me thing.
yep.
So,
Oh
the
cat.
tickets are on sale now.
Yes, yes, and in fact I think I put the link in. I think I put the link in the description for this, but I'll also be posting it on my page, and I know you're posting it all over the place too. But yeah, it Santa Fe Blues Fest.com, right, is where where it is.
SantaFeBluesFestival.com
Festival. Yeah.
is the
Santa Fe
website.
Blues Festival.
SantaFeBluesFestival.com. Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Right. Right there. Let me just show it real quick.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
tickets are
And you can go on.
selling. We just
Uh-huh.
went live with tickets last weekend. They're going.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So cool. So anyway, Kathy, thank you so much for being on. Let me get back here. Where am I? Oh, there we are. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm gonna definitely have you on probably a few more times before the festival comes around, just to keep it in people's minds.
Cool.
You know,
Thank you. Yeah.
I
Thank
want
you,
this to
Oscar.
be big. So cool. So, any last words?
Yeah, you're going to sing an America song for us, and you're going to open the whole festival with that. I'm very much looking forward to that. So
Ah,
thank you.
thanks. I'm just glad to be invited. I'm glad. I mean, even if that was the only thing I was going to do, I mean, just to be part of this is just really wonderful for my heart, because
Ah,
I
thank
love
you.
music. Yep.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
See you
Okay
soon.
then. And, yep. I'll see you later. Bye bye,
Okay.
Kathy.
Bye-bye.
And don't go away yet. Don't go away yet. When I put you back into the green room. Anyway, that was Kathy White, and she's the creator and director of the Santa Fe Blues Festival. It's coming up October 21st. So keep your eye out. The tickets are available on SantaFeBluesFestival.com, and go check out the website and the players who are going to be there. So anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave comments. And that's about it. So have a wonderful night, a wonderful week. And I'll see you later.